It's good to be back here once again. Today's review will be the 2002 to 2008 Cartoon Network series, and that is Codename, Kids Next Door. How I remember watching this show on DVD. When I was a kid, Codename, Kids Next Door was originally aired on Cartoon Network, Boomerang, Kids WB, a cartoon programming block on the WB and the CW. Originally streamed on Max, formerly known as HBO Max, Hulu and its beta on Disney+, and currently streaming on the Boomerang app. The show revolves around a group of 5 kids, using codenames number 1 through 5, who are the main home operatives of what is known as Sector V, which is part of a worldwide espionage-style organization called the Kids Next Door. Their mission is to fight crimes against children, such as homework and flossing, many of which are willingly committed by evil adults, senior citizens, teenagers, and other children. Number 1 is the bald, astute, no-nonsense, workaholic British-American boy Nigel Uno, leader of Sector V. Number 2 is the overweight, intellectual, aviation enthusiastic, pun-cracking Jewish-American boy Hoagie P. Gilligan, Jr. Number 3 is the happy-go-lucky Japanese-American girl Cookie Sandman. Number 4 is the short-tempered, irrational, and fighting-prone Australian-American boy Wallaby Beetles. Number 5 is the intelligent, laid-back, tomboyish African-American girl Abigail Lincoln. Following a period of training, every member of the Kids Next Door chooses a number or alphanumeric code, deliberately pronounced and spelled as number, and is sent to a sector that acts as their home base. The sector headquarters, like some of the organization's bases and facilities, are tree houses, with both treehouse and the tree it is in being of ludicrous proportions, and often suited to their environment. This includes a base constructed beneath the Arctic ice shelf, and a base built into a large pine tree. The main headquarters of the Kids Next Door is a treehouse moon base. The Kids Next Door follow their oath of protecting other kids as well as battling adulthood until the age of 13 when they are decommissioned, a process of wiping their memories of any past K&D activity and warping their minds. Such a practice has inevitably led to the creation of many K&D villains who escaped decommissioning, such as Number 5's older sister Cree, formerly known as Number 11, and Chad, formerly known as Number 274 and Supreme Commander of the Kids Next Door. The practice of strict decommissioning at age 13 was later on revealed to be subject to exceptions. Kids who are deemed exceptional agents are offered the chance to carry on in K&D as spies infiltrating the teen organization in the Teens Next Door. Decommissioning has also proved reversible via a recommissioning module used 4 times in the series. K&D agents utilize a vast array of mechanical, electronic gadgets, weapons, and machinery, collectively referred to as 2x4 technology. The K&D's 2x4 technology was originally conceived as being constructed from an assortment of objects, mostly common household ones. However, as the series progressed, the kind of objects their technology was constructed from became bigger, consisting of things such as large vehicles and small buildings. Not only that, but the complexity of their technology, such as their defensive weaponry and means of transportation, advanced to such absurd levels as to be considered science fiction, despite all of it still being constructed from nothing but an assortment of objects. The writing for this show is pretty decent and the episodes are well paced, has plenty of awesome action, manages to be pretty funny. It has a very fun and unique premise, and it can get pretty wacky with a lot of the things going on. It does also manage to have some legitimate heart on occasion, but it does sometimes falter, and sometimes the wackiness can get a bit overboard. There are a good bunch of episodes such as Ice Cream, Teeth, Lice, The FLY, Grow Up, Flavor, Ghost, End, Fountain, Archive, Graduates, Jules, Hospital, Food Fight, Loose, Chocolate, Munchies, Snowing, Elections, Naughty, The Caked Episodes, Licorice, IT, Caramel, Treaty, and Interviews. But there are a few bad ones that snuck their way in like Canon, Fugitive, and But. The action scenes can get pretty gripping, and they do provide the excitement for the show, like whenever the K&D escape from a tight situation, battle against their villains, or engage in larger-scale fights. The show does manage to have a decent sense of humor, and while not all the jokes land, most of the jokes do manage to get a little laugh, like the witty banter and dialogue between the characters, the more goofy situations they get into, the gags and slapstick, and there's even some decently funny adult jokes, but there are some nasty gross-out jokes. The show does also have a little bit of heart and emotion to it, mainly with some of the dynamics between some of the characters, and the ending. The animation is pretty good for what it is, as the characters all have pretty decent designs and solid movements. The backgrounds are pretty solid and serviceable, and there are some pretty good effects like some of the lighting, and the show's use of CGI. The characters are all decently likable, and they do have some pretty solid chemistry and even a bit of development. The main 5 kids are pretty likable protagonists, as they are very good and loyal friends, and they do have some great chemistry thanks to their varying personalities, like number 1 being the stern, no-nonsense leader, number 2 being more of a goofball, number 3 being all cute and bubbly, number 4 being all tough and brash, and number 5 being the most level-headed and laid-back. There are also some other characters in the show that are also pretty decent and likable, like the kid's tough but fair parents, Hoagie's eccentric little brother Tommy, some of the other members of the KND like the fiery number 86 and the stern number 362, Nigel's love-obsessed girlfriend Lizzie, and a few more. The show has a very memorable cast of villains, and a good chunk of them manage to be very memorable and intimidating, like the menacing and short-tempered father, the highly stuck-up and unison delightful children from down the lane, Abby's formidable older sister Cree, the deadpan Mr. Wink and Mr. Fib, the dental hygiene-obsessed Night Brace, the candy-loving Sticky Beard, the double agent Chad, the very ill Common Cold, the pathetic toy alternator, the crazed vampire Count Spankulot, the horrible cook Grandma Stuff'em, the feline-loving crazy old cat lady, and many more. The voice acting is pretty solid, and the cast do provide some solid performances, like Benjamin Diskin as numbers 1 and 2, Lauren Tom as number 3, D. Bradley Baker as number 4 and Tommy, Cree Summer as number 5 and Cree, Jennifer Hale as number 86, Rachel McFarlane as number 362, Morris LaMarche as father, Diskin, Baker and Summer as the delightful children, Jason Harris as Chad, Mark Hamill as Sticky Beard, Gray Delisle as Lizzie, and more. The music for the show is pretty well done and really captures the comedic, action-packed, and wacky tone of the series. Speaking about its video games, this show has its own video games from Cartoon Network Interactive, Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment, and Global Star Software. Codename, Kids Next Door: A Operation, VIDOGAME in 2004 for PlayStation 2, Xbox, and Nintendo GameCube, and Codename, Kids Next Door: A Operation, SODA, also in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. And speaking about its movies, this show has its own movies from Curious Pictures and Cartoon Network Studios. Codename, Kids Next Door: Operation ZERO in 2006, The Grim Adventures of the Kids Next Door in 2007, a crossover movie with The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy. And Codename, Kids Next Door: Operation INTERVIEWS in 2008. And what is my verdict on this cartoon? 8 out of 10. Perfect show.